John, you're on the outside looking in. Once again, what's been the message, what's been the vibe around the team this week?
Well, we gotta again, control what we can control, and that's winning on Thursday, winning on Saturday. Obviously we need the help from Eastern on Thursday to make Saturday a meaningful game as far as getting into the conference tournament. So our focus is on Weber right now, and taking care of business if we can on Thursday.
What happened defensively? It looked like on the weekend, with the numbers weren't as they have been in the past few wins.
I think Montana game we did a bad job blocking out, and we gave them some easy putbacks and some and ones that really hurt us. And I think Feller got hot from three, and honestly we were playing good defense on her. Stacy was right up in her face. Really, 3 out of the 4 shots she hit from deep. So they always play better at home. Montana, they're always I think, a much more effective team offensively at home. At Montana State and Bozeman, man, they just came out. It skewed the numbers at the start of the second half, 9 for 11 to start the second half, and it was crazy. I mean, they were knocking down shots right and left. I thought we were there. We did let Durham get loose in the first half, and that was defensive breakdowns. That was just people not playing the game plan and kind of doing their own thing. And I think trying to help out on other people that they didn't need to be helping out on. They went away from the plan and let Durham get hot, and then she just continued that. I mean, a kid who averages 6 a game gets 20, and that really hurt us.
After the Montana game, so you didn't play like a team that kind of needed to win out the rest of their games. Did you feel like you kind of did against Montana State?
Yeah, I thought we did. I thought we played hard, man. We played hard in Montana. We didn't block out in Montana in Missoula, but in Bozeman, we played hard. We played really hard, and we had our old Achilles heel of missing layups, man. Especially in the second half against Montana State, where we had a stretch where game's 59-57, I think, with like 4 minutes to go or 5, and we stop them 6 straight times, and we come up empty 6 straight. But it's 3 missed layups, an air ball 3, a bad shot, and then another missed 3. And we had the game for our taking right then, because defensively we had finally shut them down, taken care of Hamas and Durham and the rest of them, and we just couldn't convert. We got the shots we wanted, I can tell you that, and we just didn't make it, man. And I told them after the game, man, players make plays, and we didn't have anybody step up down that stretch to make the play that we needed.
Against Montana State, I mean, neither team had like a ton of turnovers. It was really close throughout, just a battle. And then the final score probably doesn't even really reflect how close of a game it really was.
No, it was a 2-point game. It was a 1-possession game all the way through. At the end we had to foul a little bit, just trying to get back into it. But like I said, with a minute something to go, we're still only down 2 and right in it, and had our looks. That's what's disappointing to me is we executed everything up until we got to put the ball in the basket, and that's the name of the game, man. And we didn't do it.
When you have those missed layups, like you said, it's kind of been there all year. What do you do? Is something you try to change in practice?
We try everything. We hit them with the pads when they're going up for layups in practice. We got our practice squad guys contesting them. We don't contest them. We go in full speed. We're going. It's something we've been working on all year, and it's weird because we will finish well in practice, but then you get in the game, and it's really the same type of situation, and they're just not finishing. The putbacks inside by our post guys were not there on this trip. And, that's discouraging to a team to get there, get to the rim, miss a layup. It kind of takes the air out of your defense a little bit. And then they go back because they're getting stops, you're getting stops, but you're missing layups. Eventually you're going to crack. And that's what happened to us.
Does that kind of work the same way maybe with how poor free throw shooting can work? One player misses a couple layups and then it just kind of spirals from there?
Yeah, and it spiraled in Montana and Missoula for sure. 14 for 26, that was brutal. And that was a killer for us because we got to the line. I thought we did a good job of attacking the rim, and then we don't make them pay for it. We don't make free throws, and that's something that if you're going to win on the road against the best team in the conference, you better be making your free throws. You better be making your layups, and we didn't do either one.
Talked about this team having a championship mentality. You're, for all intents and purposes, in win or go home scenario both nights. Does that you won championships? Does that kind of help?
Yeah, I think so. They know where they're at now because for us it is. It's one. It's one and done, man. And it's that time of year, and we got them at home, which is nice. It's not a neutral floor in Las Vegas, but we like that neutral floor in Vegas, I can tell you. But we're gonna have to take care of this business at home.
You got senior day coming up on Saturday. Can you just kind of talk about your two seniors?
Well, I think Marin has been here and been through a lot of adversity with the pro ruling when she first got here about she had that one kid on her team that was getting paid, and she actually had to pay to be on her own team, Marin, and the other Norwegians. But the NCAA, I thought, made a horrendous ruling on her and making her sit out all those games, basically a season and a quarter at least. I think looking back on it. Just horrible. They've since changed some of those rules. So starting out like that was hard for her. I think adjusting over here was rough, but then she had a great stretch during our two championships. We don't win the WAC championships without her play. I thought she did a great job both tournaments of almost neutralizing the big kid from Seattle, and the games when we really needed her when Allie got in foul trouble, and that's what the way. I look back on Marin's career and the huge contribution she made in the WAC championships in Las Vegas, both years of, she's hitting some threes, she was scoring, she was defending, and probably played her best basketball during that time. And that's where I'm going to remember Marin, for her career here and being there every day. Man, she was at practice every day, didn't miss a game, didn't miss practice, worked hard every single day. Great student, a fantastic student. And had a great, solid career here. Stacy Barr, what can you say, man? I mean, one of the all-time great Vandals, no, without a doubt, of all time. She will go down as one of the all-time great Vandals, without a doubt. I really believe she should be in the Hall of Fame here. I believe, Alyssa Charleston should as well, but Stacy certainly should be in the Hall of Fame here after her career is done, for all she's done. The WAC Player of the Year, putting us on her back and winning championships in Las Vegas. The year she's had, her senior year, has been great for her. Had some stumbles along the way, but when everybody's you got the big target on your back and everybody's zeroing in on her, to be able to do what she's done, being the focus of every team's defense, has been great from an offensive standpoint. But ultimately also defensively, she's come so far since she was a freshman. I think I'm most proud of the way her defense has come around, because I knew she could score. When I recruited her, she was averaging 45 points a game in Australia. I mean, I knew she could score, But to play defense and take charges and rebound like she's done, her all-around game here has been just fantastic, and working as hard as she's worked for the 4 years, she deserves it, because she is definitely an example of, you put in enough hard work, you're going to become a great player. And she has paid the price through all her injuries of stitches and bumps and bruises and everything that's happened to her. She plays without fear. She always has. She's not physically afraid of anything or anybody, and she's not mentally afraid of anybody. She's had great games against Baylor and teams like that. She's played her best against the best, and that's the way she needs to be remembered as one of the all-time great Vandals.
Physically, she may be one of the toughest players you've ever coached.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, without a doubt, one of the two toughest players physically that I've ever coached. I had a really tough kid down at Idaho State that I coached named Lorian Scow, and Stacy's right there with her. I was thinking about that the other day, thinking about the toughest kids I've ever coached physically. They can just take the pain and just keep playing, no whining, no complaining, just do it. And yes, no doubt about it, Stacy's there.
Coach, she comes in as the preseason Big Sky Player of the Year, really leading the conference in scoring by almost 4 points, I think. There's a lot of good players in this conference, but does she deserve to be the Big Sky Player of the Year once the season's over?
I think she does, without no doubt in my mind that she's the Big Sky Player of the Year. Usually that award will go to somebody on the team that wins. And I've always told our players, you get awards like that when your team wins, and that's just the nature of the beast. But sometimes you have exceptional players and exceptional seasons where it's not the norm to just go do it. You go against the grain and vote for it. And I think Stacy is certainly the Big Sky Player of the Year in my mind. We'll see what the coaches vote, but I think without a doubt the season she's had, it's been amazing. Again, being targeted as she's been, and the way it's gone for her.
And I know she's always been kind of a player who leads by example. Now she's really the senior on the team that's getting all the minutes. What have you seen from a leadership standpoint from her this year?
She's gotten better at leadership. She's very quiet. She's still quiet. Not a huge vocal leader. She's always led by example out on the floor. At practices and at games, and that hasn't changed. She's been like that probably since certainly her junior year. I saw some of that coming out in her sophomore year of taking a little bit of leadership, but she knows that she's a leader out there on this basketball team, and she goes out there and proves it every day. And that's what you need out there on the floor. The younger kids can take a great lesson from her, and how to practice hard and play hard for the entire time you're out there between the lines.
And then really quickly, just going back to when you first recruited her, you've had a big connection to Australia. Just how did you get Stacey Barr to come here to Idaho?
I went down there and recruited her. I went down there and we exchanged emails to begin with and phone calls, and went down and talked to her parents, and we just established a good connection. I think I established a great connection with her and her parents, and some of the people that we had that we both knew. I know they put in good words for me here at Idaho, and what we could do for her basketball-wise and academically. And she just thought it was the right fit, and luckily for us.
And then, of course, Marin as well. What stood out about her when you recruited her, and then, how did she get to here to Idaho as well?
Marin was a little different story. I didn't go over to Norway. We saw film on her. We were looking for a post player late in the signing process the year she was coming out. And I got some film actually from a guy I know over in Europe. He wasn't specifically Norwegian, but he had some film on a couple of players, and Marin was one of them. And we just started. I liked what I saw on the film. Talked to a couple other people I know over there in a couple of the federations, and they had a lot of good things to say about her work ethic, and her family too. Her sister plays at Colorado State, and so I just went in and started recruiting her, and she liked what she heard about Idaho, and again, luckily for us, chose us.
And kind of like you mentioned, she started several games last year. Was really the backup to Alyssa Charleston, just a key player in those championship games. Just kind of reiterate what she meant during those two WAC championships, and then kind of maybe why she's had a little bit of a lesser role this year.
Well, I think, again, we wouldn't have won the WAC championships without the contributions Marin made in Las Vegas. They were huge. Allie's in foul trouble. Brooks out with her back surgery. We were down to it, and Marin just stepped up and played the best basketball of her life down in Las Vegas. I think both years. She was so frustrating to Seattle. It was great to see. She's just solid. She's the strongest player on our team. She doesn't look like she is maybe, but she is by far the strongest player, and she's able to root post players out and hold her ground. She's a great offensive player because she runs the offense. She doesn't try to do too much. She knows where she's supposed to be. She has it down to a T, man. She knows the pass. She knows the screen. She knows the roll. She knows exactly what she has to do for both standpoints, and she'll play her role. She doesn't try to do anything she can't do out on the basketball floor. And that's what makes her such a great player here for us during those runs, was she did what she was supposed to do and did it well, did it very, very well for us. This year came into it, was playing some, got sick. People don't know, but she got mono, and that really set her back. And so she was out. Basically, she was out for 3 weeks. And trying to get your strength back from something like that, and it just kind of put her behind. And then other people stepped up, Jerry, and with Brooke being healthy all year, there just wasn't really enough minutes to go around at times for Marin. But handles it well, never says a word, goes out there, practices hard every single day, and again, if I put her in this weekend, she'll be ready to play. Without a doubt, she'll be ready to go.
Good. Thanks, John.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you, Coach. 5 o'clock, right? That's what she said.
Yeah.